if he's listening.
There
you go. The camera rolling, Chris. Courtesy of Cafe Pod. I'll give them a shout out because they sent me a load of coffee, which is great, but I did ask for beans and they sent me ground by mistake, so you can have that for the office.
Tom, he knows I've got it now. I think so. I'll have to bring it in and make him one.
Thanks, guys, for that.
Thanks,
Feel
Cafe,
free to
Cafe
fill us
Pod.
up with some more.
You ordered some beans, right, for home? Is that what you
Yeah, the bean, that Ninja bean machine. Ninja, the best coffee machine.
Oh, have you got a Ninja?
Yeah.
Did you?
Do you know why?
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't. Yeah, people aren't giving me coffee machines yet, mate. Yeah, I bought it because, I bought it well over a year ago because I always had the stovetop.
Yeah,
thing.
the mock pot.
Yeah, and I always liked them, and I liked the whole process of brewing up in the morning and stuff. But I did want to get a bean machine, but just this one. So I mean, you'll know better than me. So you just literally flick the button, so you don't have to get the grind right.
Oh, I see. Right.
So it grinds it, but it does the grind for you perfect.
So it'll time it coming through, because that's the trick, isn't it? Like, you've got to
exactly. So that bit.
Pull it through in 25 seconds.
You literally click over to Americano or Espresso or whatever, pick the double or whatever, and then it'll give you a number. So you click over on the bean thing, 1 to 9, but it tells you. So say it's an espresso, it'll usually be number 1, and you just press grind and it grinds it, and then you're away.
That's brilliant.
So timing wise and everything, like for me, it's
I might
takes that bit out of it, which I speak to some coffee nerds and like, you can't be that's what you should be learning and all that. I'm like, I just like that.
You just want it easy, don't you? No, mate, you want it simple.
So
especially in the morning.
They sold out. Like, you couldn't get one, and I did pay over the odds on eBay for it.
I've heard good things about them. Like,
but at the same time,
loads of good reviews.
Like, because I got to the point, because I'm out and about more. You know, it's like buying coffees and stuff, and usually they're crap coffees from places, and then. But this one, so I don't buy coffees out now, so I'm saving.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's expensive now.
So
it was for coffee, isn't it? Thank you,
like
Chris.
For a coffee machine. I think they're like 550 quid. I think I did pay like 600 for it, something like that, which sounds like a lot, but
yeah, it's an investment. No, it's worth it, isn't it?
50 quid a month. I'm saving probably.
Oh, definitely. No, you can't put a price on a good machine.
Winter loved learning how to do it. She makes it every morning.
So you've got a coffee maker now,
yeah. She's good, like, she does it, tamps it and everything. So she's ready to go.
I might have to come round, get Winter to make me one, and I might invest. I might get one.
Yeah, they are good, because they're about that big as well, sit on the counter.
Probably get that in the van, can't I?
Yeah.
I quite like the look of them.
Yeah.
We've had a coffee subscription for quite a few years. We just get a different coffee every month. So what this is.
Do you use ground coffee?
Yeah. Well, we use stovetop. You know, like the
Italian
types.
I've got some ground. Ben will take them. I'll give you some more ground, because I've got a couple of bags spare, because I don't use it anymore.
Do you go straight for beans? So I've walked in a bit on that.
Sorry, yeah. So the Ninja is beans. Chuck the beans in, but it does the grind automatically.
Yeah. It's nice. That's what I want to. I think I'm going to move to. I've seen some nice coffee machines. It is good.
And do you know where I get the coffee? Like, what's it called? HomeSense. So it's like that.
Really?
Yeah. So HomeSense, that is like a branch of Asda, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. But they always have, because I used to use it for presents, like Italian biscuits and stuff like that. But the coffee there, you go and get a bag of beans, and you look at when it's been packaged or when it's been packed, and it's literally within a couple of months. So it's like fresh beans.
Is it part of
bag,
part of the George range?
Yeah, go there and then end up with like a picture of a dog's head or something as well with a crown.
It's nice. So we use Ozone Coffee, and every month you get like an email with who they've chosen, and they go out to all these like little suppliers out in sometimes Africa, sometimes South Africa. But I've seen this one in Wrexham now, isn't it? Is it Wrexham Bean or something? And they've been promoting quite a lot, haven't they? But I mean, they're all the same, aren't they? But it's nice. Ours is like different every month, so you never know what you're going to get.
Oh, I don't want that.
I think people.
I don't want different. I just want the same. I just want.
I think people take the coffee seriously now, don't they? You know, especially after like lockdown, when those little things at home matter. You know, like the quality. Like you know, like there was some microbrewers popping up everywhere, weren't there? People well into the nice beer, and I think it's the same with coffee now. People.
What was
people love it.
What was everyone making at home? Can't remember.
What, espresso martini?
Well, yeah, double vodkas. No, like there was people were making banana breads and stuff, weren't they? But there was also another craze that were taking like that. No one's making it anymore. And a load of just like ice cream machines under the stairs.
Yeah. Things that are never going to get used again. Yeah.
We bought a bread maker. And I'm completely against bread makers because I like making my own like artisan bread. But we were looking into just how much junk is in a lot of this bread, you know, all these preservatives and stuff. And I just thought, I'm just going to get a bread maker. Oh, mate, we love it. The bread's so good out of it. It's so
Really?
easy.
You're still using it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'll do your life.
I wouldn't mind a bread maker because you're right. Like, well, the problem is, when you've got kids, I just still need to buy about 3 loaves of bread. Like, that just last. But like in Italy, like we've all just been, it's... I remember Gilly one morning, we bought some bread the next day. He's like, it's rock hard. And then we realised, because they don't put a load of shit in it. Do they? Everyone's breaking a tooth on a sandwich because we've like waited a day.
Yeah, same in like France, they take the bread seriously, don't they? I love it.
Yeah.
I sort of love, that's the best bit about driving to France for me, that you're getting a fresh croissant and a baguette in the morning.
Preservatives in bread are prohibited in France.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like one of the things I did when I left the proper job about 10 years ago, I went on a bread making course with a French baker and a barista course because I thought I was going to open a cafe. I mean, that never happened. But yeah, that was my little treat to myself for my redundancy payout. Nice. And that's what I learned. That it's illegal to put preservatives in bread in France, which is why you have to keep buying it fresh because it goes stale, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love a boulangerie in our village. It'd just be the best, wouldn't it? I'd use it as well. People, boulangerie, a bakery.
It's a lingerie. Getting hands thumbers
in that as well. That next door.
Right then.
Better get stuck in, haven't we? It's been a while since we've properly caught up, since UTMB. We've had a couple of best ofs go out. It's the first time we've done it, isn't it?
Yeah. So I hope everyone enjoyed the best ofs. It's it wasn't a planned break at first, but we did need it with timings, didn't we?
Yeah, it just wasn't possible in the end, was it? When me having a bit of time off after UTMB and then you going to do Totdret. It was forced break, wasn't it? But I think we've done well to get this far and not have to take a break as such, like 40 episodes in, and we've not missed a beat, have we? I mean, thanks to Chris for keeping it going with the best ofs.
And the best ofs. I thought you were going to say we've done well to scrape a couple of highlights out of 40 episodes.
What I did found nice, because I did listen to it on the way into work the other day, I do forget half the stuff we talk about, so it's always like listening to a new episode for me, even though it's a best of. It
was pretty tricky to do the best ofs as well. People know we've got a WhatsApp group, and we chat, and I asked you guys, what were your favourite bits and stuff. Even just listening to those episodes, there were so many we could pull out. There was some really good clips and stuff, and it's not something we're going to be doing too often. We'll obviously try and stay on top of keeping the podcast fresh and stuff. But hopefully people will start to see a bit of an increase in some of the stuff that we're going to be putting out now as we go into winter. We've got a bit of a plan, haven't we, of other stuff that we're going to be putting in. So you might see a few more notifications. Hopefully you can join in and share along and spread the word, really, because we're certainly from UTMB, we're getting some amazing feedback on what we're doing here with the podcast. So hopefully people are really enjoying the content.
Yeah, and that was the first time where we've gone out and created some content around the podcast as well, wasn't it? Together at an event, and I think there's definitely an appetite for doing a bit more of that, isn't there? So our services are available, is what we're saying. As an advert there, we're just putting it out there, aren't we?
Pimp my pen.
But no, we had a great time. And it is nice to get feedback. I've had loads of calls with people from work who sort of we work with as brand partners at Sports Shoes, and they were obviously loving the content. But then just seeing people out and about who've just given great feedback. So it's always nice to get the feedback. I always say it, like, give us a review, let us know what you think. But when you hear it firsthand off people, it's great, isn't it? I know you feel the same, Gary.
Yeah, because like when we go back to our day jobs, basically, like you're at Sports Shoes, I'm coaching and doing the Instagram stuff, I guess. It's like I still get messages almost like when are you and Ben doing the next thing? It's like, well, I think because we're at UTMB week, and I think it made it look good because it made it look like we're having fun, but that was the job out there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people assume that like we're just going to have freedom to do that every bloody week, when like in reality, like Ben said, at first unless someone hires us to do it. We haven't got the time just to dick around like we were doing. So it was it is good because it just showed it worked, I think, from both. Like Ben gets to speak to brands, which is amazing. I think he's had good feedback, and I get to speak to people just behind the scenes and stuff. And it's whatever we do will it's given us confidence that we can go and do it. That was the biggest stage. So
definitely. And the other thing about the UTMB is we actually went there with sports shoes, and we had things to do that were set in stone and like part of a plan. And a lot of the stuff we did that people saw was just actually extra stuff, wasn't it? That we did in our spare time and on the weekend after UTMB. So
what I did notice though, when we'll go into it, that top Dret week at Courmayeur, it was, because my brain wasn't switched onto it. It was more like holiday and going for a run. I had no like motivation or inclination to make any content or videos and stuff. It was weird. My brain had completely switched off. Yeah. It was like, I did a couple of videos obviously, but that was more just running around. It wasn't. Remember a couple of people saying, what have you got coming this week? I was like, absolutely nothing. It wasn't just because Ben isn't here, but it's like, that was part of it. But my brain just needed a week. I know you had a week off as well. It was like
so intense, isn't it? That UTMB week just anyway. And then, just the amount of content we were involved in that week, you sort of need to switch off from it, don't you?
Yeah.
So I don't blame you, to be honest. It's quite nice to just enjoy a bit of your own time running as well, and not have to worry about filming a reel or, creating some content. I mean, obviously, at some point you're going to get back to it, and you have already got back to it. But it's good just to have a reset, isn't it?
And then also, me and you end up sending each other ideas and stuff.
There's always stuff in the pipeline, isn't there?
We've got to do that new trend, haven't we? I've got to do like a letterbox now that's just got like your eyes in it as an edit now to put out.
By the time this comes out, mate, that'll be gone. Hopefully.
Oh, thank goodness, because that's an absolute load of junk to try and squint and watch those stupid videos.
But we've not caught up since UTMB. I've not seen each other since UTMB. We've been texting, obviously. I mean, the main part of today was going to be a recap of Tour de Géants, Top Dret, which is what you raced and your experience there. And there's a few other like sort of things we were going to talk about around that race. But
before you do that, do you want to just do the intro to the podcast, Ben?
Oh, yeah. I've completely forgotten. This is why we've been out of the loop, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, Gary sent us some stuff, didn't he, about this whole green room, and I do quite like the idea of it, and we're going to give it a bit of a go, and this is part of the extra content, so we have kind of rolled a little bit early here, so I'll let you off, but if you could intro the podcast, that would be good.
This is what happens when you have a few weeks off, isn't it?
Yeah. We're all out of the loop.
But welcome to the RUNcensored podcast with me, Ben Mounsey, and the one and only Gary House. We are back for a new edition of the pod following our best of recaps. So it's good to be back in Wales. And today's focus is going to be, as I've just mentioned, the Tour de Géants recap, other things around that race that happened. I mean, it's not going to be a big focus, but I've done a little bit of racing since I got back, and my love-hate relationship with orienteering is continuing. Like I can't seem to crack it.
Was this home away? Because you were in the van away for a bit, weren't you, after UTMB week?
Yeah. So this was I didn't race at all when we were away, and then came back, and I know that I've got to try and get fit now because it's coming up to relay season. We did an episode of quite a few weeks back now on relays, so there's quite a few important ones coming up.
You were going to get fit about 3 months ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I did get fit, and then I got unfit. I've been fit and unfit since, so now I need to get fit again. I'm like Ricky Hatton, the late Ricky Hatton. I'm continuing that legacy out of being in form and out of form, and
I need to go with Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Paddy,
but my orienteering journey is continuing. I've actually done now this year, I think, more orienteering races than trail races, and that is the first time it's happened in my life. In 30 years of racing, like that's the first time it's happened, but I'm loving it. But mixed results, mate. I mean,
you're like a road runner that moves to trail runner.
Yeah.
When they slow down. So
that's it, exactly.
They just hide in ultra running.
That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm masking the fact I'm getting slower, and I'm covering it up with bad
but you've got
navigation.
Bad direction also.
That's it, yeah. And whenever I have a bad race, I can just blame it on the nav.
That's right.
But I did 3 races last week. First one went all right. I sort of did okay midweek. nothing really to report back. Although I picked up the wrong head torch and it did get dark pretty quick. I thought I had more light than I did. So the last few checkpoints were a bit of a fumble. But then I had a race on Saturday in my hometown of Skipton. And yeah, I mean, first big competition I've ever done. And it was a little bit daunting, very exciting. Weather was absolutely horrendous. And I mean, it's a weird one because I'm still not really in tune with what you need to do for these orienteering races, right? Obviously you pick your map up, but when you get to the start, you kind of have to queue. It's weird. It obviously set you off in different time phases, so you're not following people. But I picked the map up and I picked up a route card. So it's like a little strip of paper and that's got the numbers of the checkpoints. So I think there were 30 odd in total. And then each checkpoint, a dibber station, when you get to it, has got a specific number. So you can check that number against your kind of route card when you get there to make sure you got the right one. So I set off and I found the first checkpoint pretty quick from the map. But when I looked at the route card, the number of the dibber station didn't match up. And it just freaked me out because I thought I was at the right place on the map. And after about 20 minutes of like looking for another station around there, I just decided to dib that one, which I thought was the wrong one. Went to the second one, same happened again. And I knew I was in the right place. And it happened for about the first 4 checkpoints. And then after that, I sort of got a bit lost in the town centre because it was an urban route. It's quite difficult. It's pissing it down. And I just made this decision because I was just in a negative mindset. I'm just going to can this race.
Going to Greg's.
Yeah, so I went to Greg's, got past there, walked back, and there's a Greg's next to the start actually as well. Couldn't even find the bloody station to dib in to finish, but I'd realised when I got back to the finish that I'd picked up the wrong route card. I'd picked it up for like route 1 and I'd got the map for route 2. And the irony is as well that this route card is actually printed on the map as well, but because I fold my map up when I'm running, I didn't even realise. So I'm looking for things that don't even exist on this route card. So it was a bit of a learning curve, a bit of a laugh, I think, amongst the new club that I've just joined. I think they're probably thinking, why have we let him join our club? He's an absolute nightmare. I mean, these are like really basic errors. And then it was a 2-part series. So that was an urban score event. And then the next day was like a one on the fells, just below Ingleborough, which is part of the Yorkshire Three Peaks. And I went over and I did, I reluctantly went over because I was kind of at a low point on Saturday night. I thought, maybe this is the end of my orienteering career. So the weather was unbelievably good. The Saturday was horrendous. And I actually won. I did all right. I mean, it was easy course, let me just say that. So it was the red course, which is made for fell runners. So it's the sort of course that you would get in the British fell relays. So in terms of navigation, it's not the hardest, but it's still a challenge. And I did all right. So so I'm back to it, mate. I'm back on top of the world. Only as good as your last result, aren't you? So
yeah. Sounds like a Man United. You don't know what results can come next.
Honestly, mate, up and down like a roller coaster. And do you know the nice thing about that second one was I was walking up.
Was it points or anything? Do you average out then, so you were all right, or were you just like?
No, so were
they completely separate?
Yeah, it's completely separate, but part of like the same weekend as it were.
Okay.
But 2 totally different courses. But when I was queuing up for the second course, it sounds mad that you're queuing up to start your race, but they've got to spread people out, when they set off. But we had to walk 2 kilometres or run 2 kilometres up to the start, so you're actually starting on the fell, so you're like right in the middle of nowhere. And there's a guy just stood behind me in the queue ready to start, and he taps me on the shoulder and he says, I'm the reason. Sorry, he said to me, "You're the reason I'm here." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I listened to the podcast." So it goes back to what we were saying before. And I listened to your episode on navigation and orienteering with Kay a few months ago, and I've just got really into it. And he's done loads. A lad called Liam, so shout out to Liam if he's listening.
Happy days.
And he said he's loving it. So I was buzzing about that, mate. It was good.
Then you still beat him.
He did a different course. He'd have probably beaten me, to be honest. Yeah.
He
would have beaten me, I'm sure, definitely. But we had a good laugh because we're kind of both at the start of our orienteering journeys and we're learning, both of us. But he's thrown himself in. I just thought it was really nice. Like we get a lot of nice feedback about people listening and enjoying it, but then to actually do something off the back of it.
Yeah, like someone like Kay jumps on and speaks about orienteering. It's nice to know that actually it's encouraged people to join up and stuff and have a crack. Definitely.
And I know some of your runners who you coach have done orienteering as well.
And do you know what? Some of them have gone into more the urban stuff, that, to be honest, because a lot of them are in cities and like London and stuff. And what was a surprise as well, that some of them had already been doing it to a certain degree just for fun. And they, like you said, they sent me some of the maps that they'd done, and it was so it was a learning experience for me. It was only when Kay really showed me those urban maps, I was like, bloody hell, it's the level of detail and stuff in the city and all that. It's so it helped me as well. So yeah,
it's a good episode, wasn't it?
When's Quid Games?
Yeah, so Quid Games 2 is going to be Kendal Mountain Festival, 21st of November, Friday night. It's going to be in the dark again. So Kay's working with us on that. It's going to be a joint sports shoes and British Orienteering event. And then we've got sponsors, ASICS, Garmin, and Silver again on board, and potentially Morton. So we'll see.
You got top runners at that, haven't you?
Some top runners. I'm hoping to get Tom Evans there. So yeah, that's being negotiated at the moment. So it's not confirmed, but then we've had loads of top runners enter, and we've got the British Orienteering team there. Chris Jones has entered, Megan Mitchell.
Not sure how a shoe drink and they'll go down.
That's going to be one of the checkpoints. To finish the race rather than down in a pint, you've got to do it from a shoe.
From a shoe or from his shoe?
From his shoe.
Oh, that'd be gross.
That'll test people's dedication, won't it? But no, that's coming up, and obviously I'm going to be there. Hopefully Gary's going to be there as well, and I think we'll probably get Kay on before then, because it'd be nice to follow up from that first episode, see what she's been up to, talk about how things have progressed, and then maybe talk a bit more about that event.
How we've changed the face of the sport.
Yeah. The uptake now has gone from 200 to 250. But no, all good. So that's where I'm at with my orienteering, and it's good practice because I'm coming down to Wales in a few weeks to do the British Fell Relays, and I think by default now, because I am the orienteer on the team now, which says a lot about the team. So I'm going to be on the navigation leg, and it's going to be quite hard. So I might recce that area with you at some point. Where is it? It's in the middle of nowhere. I think it's near Cadair Idris area, but like somewhere fairly featureless. It's not actually on Cadair, but
over the other side of that is featureless.
That's such a good part of Snowdonia.
So I probably need a bit of practice time, or recce time. I mean, you obviously don't know where the checkpoint's going to be, but I think just knowing the area a bit more is going to help.
Quite a lot of forestry over that way as well, isn't there?
Will you be able to predict some of it because of land access and stuff?
Yeah, true. Actually, I need to look into that.
I'll know where you can and can't go to a certain degree.
Well, I'll send you some more details, and you can help me out with
that. Not that I'm cheating or anything. I don't know what the rules are with researching that.
No, I think it's all good because, well, I hope so. So yeah, but you've been back racing as well, Gary. So
I have, yeah.
First big one since.
Bit of an overstatement, that, to be honest, mate.
First big one since Trans Gran Canaria, though.
Yeah, it was weird because, like I said, in like that UTMB week, the year before when I couldn't run at all, really. I kind of, I remember, I think I'm all right to say this now, I didn't really tell ASICS that I couldn't run when they gave me the job, but I didn't know how much running would be involved. There wasn't much running involved, but I did manage to get out on some hikes and some runs. I know we went out on a hike that year, and I ran down and stuff, but my leg just wasn't there. So I was really looking back to going back to Chamonix, being able to run a bit. Anyway, I picked up an injury, didn't I, a few weeks before UTMB, so didn't do much running again. In fact, I didn't do any running at all that week outside of what me and you did for the work stuff, and it was really frustrating, to be honest, being there and not. But also, our time was taken anyway. I know you didn't get out on many runs either. So it was all because I was trying to get to Top Dret, which is part of the Tour de Géants week, which is 330k, 26,000 meters.
That's the Tour de Géants.
That's
the
Tour de Géants, 200 miles. It's a mega event non-stop, like Aosta Valley. Most people that listen to this will probably have heard of it, but it's on my bucket list. And if you do the Top Dret, then you get automatic entry to the Tour de Géants, which is now balloted. Basically, it's oversubscribed, so they.
It's like a feeder race essentially for people building up to
so
it.
You can. Yeah. So every February, which is pretty late to enter a race, which is so big. So every February you can enter Tour de Géants, which is September. But it will be oversubscribed. So it's just lottery. So it's, but because they've got a couple of races in the same family, Torex. So there's a couple out in Asia. There's Totdret, which is part of this. There's Grand Trail Courmayeur. So if you do the 100k there, you get like basically it's you just bypass the lottery.
Yeah.
So the plan was hopefully get my leg round Totdret and then be able to do Tours des Géants in 2026.
Yeah.
That was the plan anyway. And going into it, it was a bit of an unknown because I'd got pretty fit on the bike and I'd done some good mountain runs with Rich, 2 dicks. And but the last one I did with them, I just had an injury behind the knee, and it was an actual running injury born out of the old nerve damage, but it was an actual running injury, which was reassuring more than anything. But I just had to go into it a bit blind, not knowing how the leg would take it. So we flew out on the Thursday night from Luton, so went down to James Elson's. Oh no, sorry, Thursday morning. Completely losing track. So we went down very early Thursday morning to James's house because we can park the car there. We can all go out from Luton. It's cheap and all that kind of stuff. Same hire car. Me, Gilly, James Elson and Pat Robbins, who don't think you'll know Pat, but one of the old school greats of GB ultra running, who I've known for many years. Him and James had done a tour before. They were on the start line for Tours des Géants. So we were out there Thursday night. Kept it pretty chilled Thursday night. Friday, we all went for a hike. We just went up to a refuge, which was pretty cool actually, because years ago I did Grand Trail Courmayeur and took Winter. I don't think Wilder was in the buggy basically, so he's really small. So there's a nice picture of where I was with Winter like 6 years ago and sent it to her because they've got that it's like alpine swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's a swim pool up at like, I don't know, must be 1,600 meters or something. So that's closed, but we were hoping the refuge would be open for a drink and stuff. We hiked up, it wasn't open. And then everyone started running down and I basically walked down it. I was that protective of my leg.
Yeah.
And ended up walking down with a couple of them, but didn't know what it was going to happen until I got onto the start line at Totdret. So Tours des Géants starts Sunday morning. My race didn't start till Tuesday evening. On the Saturday, Pat had said, I don't feel great. And he's got an inhaler for a bit of asthma anyway. But we just passed it off as a bit of altitude and all that kind of thing. But Saturday evening, he was coughing quite a lot. And by Saturday 2 a.m., he took himself out of Elson's room and he was on the sofa sleeping. They were in the flat upstairs with John Kelly. And we were in the flat downstairs with Sophie Bennett. Yeah. So there was a split in the house, but James and Pat were sleeping in the same room for the first couple of nights. And it transpired that Pat wasn't well at all. But he started on the Sunday morning, went over the first climb, over the first col, went down, and me and Gilly were in Latoul and he just said, no, that's me done.
Gee, so that was, he called it early on then.
20k, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was about 20k. And to be fair to him, he wasn't going to start, but we reassured him, like, look, me and Gilly are going to be in the first village, go up the climb. Like, it's a big expense. It's and for Pat, he's had to take a week or more off work. He's self-employed. Big financial expense. Obviously, you want to give yourself the best shot. Yeah. And he was just, you're borderline, like coughing and stuff. You might be all right, I guess.
Yeah. But
hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? But
no, I'd have done the same as him, 100%.
Yeah, especially with the safety net of, look, a couple of hours, we'll be there. You can either crack on or jump in the car. And unfortunately, that was his day done. It was obvious. And it wasn't like sometimes you can try and talk someone round.
Yeah.
Like within 10 seconds, it's like he's experienced enough. He's not been in it after 20k if he just has a sniffle.
Yeah.
James went running through with Anna Buckingham, who we know as well. He looked fine, to be honest. He just charged through. And then we moved on to a checkpoint, Planaval, which is a nice restaurant up high. Did a bit of a hike out, saw Zach Miller and stuff. It was all going well, and we hiked back down. And then James went through, and he just didn't look right, and he was complaining a bit. But he didn't wait in the checkpoint. So as in he just literally grabbed something and ran through. So we didn't really get an idea of
how
he was until we drove to the actual first life base, which is 50k in. And we went in the pub. It's basically a little pub. Had a sandwich and a beer. It's like, I wasn't going to have a beer, but it's now Sunday night and I've had a beer every night. It's like, had a beer. It was quite a good atmosphere. Me, Gilly, and now Pat joined us. He was still ropey, but he wanted a beer. And we saw James go. It's quite funny, actually, because we saw James run past the window, or Pat did, and we were just about to pay for all our food and beers. And me but we're talking to Zach Miller in there, like chatting away. He's obviously an interesting guy. Saw James go past. Pat goes, "There's James." So Pat ran after him. I ran after him, and just left Gilly with Zach. Obviously, he's Gilly and being Gilly, and he just networking. Probably trying to get a bit of work off.
Did he have his top off? Or Gilly
had the camera out, trying to sell him some images, and then James was instant. We had to run into the checkpoint because I was meant to like help him there, but James was instantly like, you could see it in his face. You know when someone's sick and he's going, "No, I don't feel good, mate.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to can it." And he did at that 50k mark. We were in there, and it's just not good to see one of your friends. It's like, because I've not been there in the fact of being sick, but it's not like you can give them a bit of motivation, or you can say, give it 5 minutes, although I kind of did. But, I'm not talking James Elson, man. He knows what his body. And he was at an hour ahead of his previous time. So it's just a shit experience for Pat, then James. And I know this is a long-winded way of getting to my race, but it just shows the context of like this big race, some experienced runners, and they just got wiped out by a virus.
This is also the thing about ultra running, isn't it? Like, it's not like you're 8k into a 10k race and you can hang in till the finish.
Yeah,
like, that's a long way still to go, isn't there?
He's 50k into 330k.
Yeah, I mean,
there wasn't an argument there. It was funny though, because we got there and after, like, James's bag was everywhere, and I was like folding up his stuff. Like, rang Gilly to come down, and I was like, "Did you pay the bill?" And he goes, "What bill?" It's like, so we'd all left, basically, essentially left Zach Miller with the bill in the because he was the only one out of it, because they probably thought he was with our group. We were like, you need to go back and pay the bill, mate. Because we'd all just ran off. To be fair to the woman, and she's like, "I didn't realise you'd gone." So everyone was just. We did go back and pay, so we are back. We are allowed back. But yeah, James canned it anyway.
How were you feeling at this point? Were you?
I was absolutely. Right. I was fine, if I'm honest, because I'd not done much. I was fine, but like those two had dropped out now, and Gilly had mentioned that he was a bit short of breath up high and stuff like this, but we're putting it down to a bit of altitude and things. And anyway, it gets to Tuesday. My start is in Gressoney, which is an hour away or something. And I was with Robbie, Britton, and Nats. They got a place down there, and they were kindly meant to be crewing me for the race. So I was just lying on the bed in their little flat thing downstairs, and I was just like, my start time was 9 o'clock, but I was knackered. I put a bit of it down to a bit of travel, a bit of sun. Maybe I'm just a bit nervous for the race, but I was knackered. Anyway, got to the start of the race, turned up, and I started at the back. Bit scared of how my leg's going to go. The first couple of K is just flat up the valley, or you're steadily climbing until you hit the first climb. So probably 15 minutes worth of running. And I was running like 5-minute Ks, so very slow, to be honest. But still, because I started at the back, still naturally moving up a little bit. My leg felt absolutely fine at that really like short gait, like when you're kind of a bit scared to stretch out a little bit. And you hit the first climb, got the poles out, had a chat with, I think it was Billy, a Scottish guy. He's like, I had my windproof on. I remember because I'd had that windproof on, off at the start. And I knew I'm going to start in this thing and start sweating out. Yeah, anyway, started first climb. And he's like, this Billy guy just took the piss, I could say, because I said, I've had this on and off already. He goes, you won't need that on, kind of thing. Obviously, I hiked up. I said, I wished him good luck. 5 minutes later, he passed me again. He was like, I told you, because I'm there taking it off. I was like, I know, every fucker told me. So I just couldn't regulate my body temperature. Again, haven't raced for a while. It's a 9 o'clock start. Didn't think much of it. It's a big old climb to begin with. You hit a refuge, then you go up again, loads of switchbacks. You go to the first col, must be 1,600 meters of climbs from the start.
Wow.
And I was hiking well enough, well within myself, still making up loads of places because of where I started. Felt really good actually, but I had put that windproof on and off again about 3 times. Got to the top of there, cold at the top, but I was dripping with sweat. Anyway, start descending, which is the first test for my leg, and I was taking it very easy for what I would normally do. Again, making up time for what I thought I would be doing, feeling really good, going down, to be honest. But again, going down, then I started getting cold on the way down. Anyway, then you go into the valley and your first major checkpoint, and I stood at a checkpoint literally to take on a bit of cheese and some crisps. And I started, when you get the jitters, like a bit of, why am I fucking shaking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my body temperature instantly plummeted, which shouldn't really happen. So I just got going, running again, up the next col. By now, hit a refuge. I'm like 4.5 hours in now. Into the refuge, and I was shaking again, but sweating.
Jeez.
And again, I'm just thinking, is it altitude? Is it just because I haven't raced for a bit? Am I pushing too hard? But my legs felt all right. And anyway, went down the next one. And this is where Gilly, thankfully, was meant to be crewing me. Got in there ahead of schedule. So I said guesswork, maybe 7 hours. Yeah, taking it easy if my leg's all right. Got in there like 6 hours, 10 minutes or something. So I'd gone all right. And I was actually enjoying the fact that I could run again in this bloody race. And got in, sat down, and I instantly thought there's something wrong. And I just didn't have the energy. 2, I'd been coughing loads on the way down. As soon as I stopped, I was like coughing in his face, basically. Uncontrollably.
Is that when he took that video of you?
Yeah, so I didn't know at first.
Yeah.
He had the little, I don't know what's called, GGI thing just on the table.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, then he was just asking, because I think, to be fair to him, I felt a bit sorry because he thought, we'll get a good checkpoint video out of this. It was just me progressively thinking, I don't know if it's a good idea to go out. But part of me's thinking, my legs are all right. Am I just being a bit of a pussy, basically? Yeah. Should I just crack on? But like you said, I'm now 32k or something into 130k.
Yeah.
I'm going into the night for another 6 hours until I see someone minimum. If I start deteriorating, it's not a good place to be.
That's the place to call it as well, isn't it? Before that happens.
And 10 minutes into that checkpoint, which I should have been in for no more than 5 minutes, the decision's made, but I just didn't want to make it. And between us, we were like, to be fair to him, he's like, he agreed. And it was just a bit of a damp squid.
Yeah.
And Elson and Pat had dropped out, so I kind of knew what was coming to a certain degree. I knew that I think I'm getting sick. Yeah. And that's what happened. Like the next day, I was just in, like, beautiful day in Courmayeur. I was just in bed all day.
Oh, gutted.
Headache, just not well, that kind of. And literally everyone on that trip basically has either had it or has now got it back at home.
Because we know now that Gilly's suffering.
Gilly's sick.
He's just rang in sick today. John Kelly had a really bad experience as well, didn't he? Because I read his race report. I don't know if that was linked.
I don't think it was, because to be fair to John, like, spot the elite athlete. I call him elite athlete, isn't he? He's one of the best out there at this stuff. In the house, he won't mind me saying, I hope, but he'd lock himself in the room at 8 p.m. and you wouldn't see him until the next morning. So, he's going above and beyond, keeping himself to himself. But he's the only one that didn't get sick in the end. He did have
stomach issues.
He had stomach issues, but it wasn't. I don't think it was what we had.
I'm starting to wonder if he's allergic to Tour de Jean, because he's not had a good experience.
Not at best. I mean, for him to have those stomach issues, because I saw his nutrition and everything. He plans everything to the nth degree. So for that to be derailed and for him to still push on and finish like he did, that just shows like the mindset of the guy and stuff.
Oh, definitely,
and the respect that race has. I think people just finishing. There's Paul Turney as well, who we've had on.
Yeah.
So he was out and he was fit and strong going into it by all accounts, but I didn't feel great at certain points. Was pretty low down the field for what he should have been, and had a storm in he probably won't say that, but from our point of view, he was like the second half of that race, he was really strong and finished really strong again. But again, this week he's got sick. So,
oh gosh, yeah, it's definitely
like Sarah's
something
out for
going around.
Canfranc, and
That's right, yeah.
But he's, by all counts, he's got what we've had.
Jeez.
So it's ripped. It ripped through our house. It ripped through pretty much everyone that was out on our trip.
I think this is the thing as well that it's different from ultra running to kind of the running that I do, is that, you know, obviously I'm not going to race when I'm sick, but it goes back to what I was saying, you know, a few minutes ago about like if you're feeling a bit rubbish and you're running 10, 15, 20k, you can ride it out and you might be a few minutes slower, but when it's an ultra, it's the highs and lows of ultra running. You know, I'm not talking about elevation and descending here now, but just the highs and lows in terms of how you're feeling, whether you're feeling good and you're winning races, or the slightest thing or a few things can effectively end your race, can't they? Completely end it, whether it's bad nutrition, whether it's you not feeling good, whether it's equipment failure. Like there's so many things that can go wrong, isn't there? It's part of the sport, isn't it?
Definitely. And usually I wouldn't, obviously, neither of us would encourage going to a race sick for many reasons. And it's not like it would, but it's one of those ones that was just probably because your immune system's down a bit once you're a few hours into a race and stuff. It didn't show its head properly until I was midway in that race. Same for Pat, really. Same for James.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you're not going to go to a race.
No.
If I felt like I did on the day after that race, the day before the race, you wouldn't be even on the start line.
No.
So a bit of bad luck there for all of us. I guess.
Back next year? Would you?
I will definitely go back.
Yeah.
But if I go to UTMB for work, for example, it's just hard for me to go to Tours de Géants. It's a bad time of year for the kids' school and things like this. And I've done it 2 years in a row now. First, I was crewing Nats last year. This year, went out for myself. Might be pushing my luck next year. I don't know. But I'll definitely go back.
Yeah.
I'll enter the lottery, I think, for Tours de Géants.
Yeah.
If I get in, I'll go out.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it.
And if I don't, I probably won't do top dret.
Well, do you know what else is bad about that? Because I know you've been building up to top dret for a while, but that as a standalone race is massive, isn't it? What, 130 kilometres?
It's 130 kilometres and 12,000 metres.
And it's like...
So it's a scary race. I don't often get scared by races, but it was a scary race for me because I don't know where I'm at. So that 30k, I know it was only 30k, did give me confidence that I can at least go and work towards these things again.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I had no problems and I was ahead of what I thought I'd be. And so I've got to take those positives.
Yeah.
And the next day I didn't have DOMs and stuff. I had a bit of my quads were split, and again, it's only 30k, but it was like 2,500 meters I did.
What's mad though is like within that little series, it's dwarfed by like just those other two monster races. Like Tour de Géants is actually dwarfed by Tour de Glacier, which is 450,
Tour de Glacier
is it, something like that?
450k,
which is crazy,
and
isn't it?
And it's not marked like Tour de Géants and everything is.
I mean,
so you've got to have a bit of nav. Well, I say a bit of nav. It's signposted, but you've
in almost any other series, like Top Dret would be like the kind of pinnacle lead race, wouldn't it? In terms of like the distance and the climb. But because it's in that monster series, I mean, that's got to be, as a series go, they're probably the toughest in the world, you reckon?
Yeah,
distance-wise and elevation and
from friends that have done these races. So I've got a couple of friends. Obviously, I've been out to do Pika Tours de Géants course. Granted, not finished them all, but friends have done both. And Pika is up there with Tours de Géants, which is up there with a Barclay.
Yeah,
and mixing in the circles that I do. And speaking about last week, those three. There's other races, but when it comes to terrain and
you got altitude, you got distance, you got elevation.
The altitude plays a big part over at Tours de Géants. I know it definitely does for top runners, for all the way through the pack. I felt it. I went up and down 2 cols. So when you go up and then down again, it's not as bad as when you go up and stay up for a period of time, like at a Pika or at parts of the actual Tours de Géants route. So I didn't actually get it to affect my race. You could feel it a bit, but then it dropped down, feel it a bit, drop down. When you go up and stay up, that's when it can, and in the midday sun and stuff. So all that comes into play massively.
It is susceptible to like huge changes in weather as well. Like, I suppose like Barclay as well.
And throughout the week.
Yeah.
So you've got we've got course records sub 70 hours, but there's people doing 150 hours. Shout out to Sophie Bennett, who was out with us. She did it last year, just about made it round in cutoffs. This year took a massive chunk of time off. So she's done it. She's completed it 2 years in a row, which is a massive achievement. But her race is a little bit longer, maybe over 100 hours. So she's experiencing, not so much this year maybe, but definitely last year, all kinds of weathers, from hot days, snow on tops, wind, rain, all sorts. And the drop bag isn't massive, like compared to a spine race or something. I know it's different conditions, but it's slowly getting smaller each year.
Yeah.
So you've got to really think about what kit you need, the nutrition. It's an epic race just to be around. It's one that like you'll probably have to take a trip out to just to do a bit of a. Maybe you can crew next year.
Yeah, that might be my way in, might it? I mean, I know the area well because I've spent a lot of time in Aosta, and I've been out with Sarah.
And you'll
know
what it's like. And it's different to if you're crewing at UTMB or something where it's absolute madness and you've got to get a bloody bus pass and all this thing like we talked about with Andy. But like this one, you can crew and you turn up into a lovely village, and you sit there for 4 or 5 hours or go for your own run hike, and then you see your runner, and then you've got another 6, 8, 10 hours or whatever, or half a day.
Nice experience.
So it's
a much nicer experience.
Massive fan of that race. Not that I want everyone to just pour into it, to be honest, but
it's got to be a focus for the year, hasn't it? That if you're going to take it on
and the rest.
Yeah,
most people, this isn't doing people a disservice. It's probably a 2-3 year project to get Tours des Géants done, me included. It's only that I've been doing mountains for so long that I think I could hike around, but. I
did like the content that you did from it. Honestly, I know you got ill, but like just covering the races before your race, and I know you've had a bit of content going out since as well, haven't you? On socials?
We're going to do a special, I think. So stay tuned next week for Running Cheats special. So we'll
just link
that's
to
a
this,
hint
isn't
to some of the goings on at Tours des Géants and stuff and beyond. But yeah, I got some good footage. I enjoy running around and getting that footage just for myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was just a bit of fun, but if you get to run with some of the top athletes at Tours des Géants for a couple of minutes,
it's nice to follow the races now. You know, if you can't be at every race and every event, but I used your channel and I used a few other people's where I could just like see runners coming in, not necessarily having to keep looking at the results or refreshing you know, the updates. Like it's nice to see people running through checkpoints.
I'm always a bit conscious. I don't want to be that dickhead that's like shoving a camera in runners' faces and stuff like that. But with some of the equipment we've got these days, like I've got that camera, I can literally run 10 meters behind,
a nice distance away,
and hopefully they don't know I'm there. And if I know them, I'm chatting to them anyway, but I'm always behind them. I'm never in their face, in front of them, and that kind of thing. So I think I try and keep respectful with it. Yeah. I know it's maybe a fine line. Sometimes people have said you shouldn't be running with them, but it's like, that's the nature of it these days to a certain degree. And I'm actually, from a lot of the footage, I'm a lot further behind than sometimes it looks. That's I don't get in people's way, put it that way.
No, that's nice and respectful. It's got to be like that, hasn't it? Yeah. I think that's one of the issues.
Apart from that mountain bike I nearly took out, weren't you? Come out with Jim. Fuck the mountain bikers.
I know you mentioned UTMB in comparison, like with aid stations there to Tour des Géants, but like the other thing about that is that like influx now of media at UTMB, and we touched upon it when we did the UTMB episodes, where I was watching, you know, Tom Evans come through at La Flégère, which is the last checkpoint of UTMB, and he had an entourage of like 30 people around him, people just lining up the trails. And second place, Ben, he had like maybe 20 people. Josh Wade, nobody around him because he just went under the radar for the most part of that race, and probably not now because he's finished third. But I did see a few videos of like runners coming into Chamonix and having to throw spectators out of the way because they were in the way, or like camera in faces. And I know there was an issue last year where a lot of the athletes had complained because other people were running with cameras and like kind of blocking their shots. And you know, like I think sometimes it almost ruins the footage and the experience for the athletes involved. So you've got to be mindful of that, haven't you? Like it's getting to a point at UTMB where that is becoming an issue. Perhaps not at Tour des Géants, but
it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's Tour de France is a good example, isn't it? When you see see them going up a climb or col and stuff, and they're literally
Right
around
next
them,
to
and
you.
they obviously can't barrier every inch of every stage, but they've started barriering some of the top mountaintop finishes a bit further down and stuff.
I mean, Notre Dame de la Gorge is probably the closest thing that we experienced to that at UTMB.
And I think if you ask the athletes overall, that's probably a good experience because that's part of it. When you're finishing a race in Chamonix, I'm still not sure why they haven't just barriered more of it off. So it's literally the runners are coming through a funnel. So you can still be close.
Yeah, you can. I think it might have been Bertie Horton. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I saw one of the British lads finishing the OCC. He'd done reasonably well. I think he'd be like...
Was it Gilly with his slow-mo?
Yeah, it was Gilly, throwing it out of the way. But I'll find it for you and I'll show you afterwards. But he'd literally had to push this spectator out of the way because he was coming into Chamonix almost like before the last 2 turns. And this guy just walked in front of him. And I can't believe that would happen at that stage in a race, like in that importance of a race as well. But these things are happening. I just wouldn't want
to, like, I know I've obviously followed a few runners, but if you're behind them, then surely it's not affecting someone. Yeah, encourage them really close. But as soon as you start getting in someone's way, or it's like, especially when it's someone's finishing experience, how many... I don't know what goes through people's heads sometimes. I'm surprised someone hasn't done some kind of protest yet, though, with like like in someone's face and stuff.
Yeah.
The
other thing I wanted to chat about on this episode, because we'll do the cheat one next, is like we've had UTMB recently, we've had Tour de Géants, and this week, as we're filming this, we're right in the middle of the World Champs. So it's been a really busy month for trail running in general, and we've sent some GB teams out there. We've had the uphill race yesterday, and then the short ultra is on today. But it's hard to get the very best people to the World Champs, isn't it?
We had a laugh about some of the descriptions, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Short, medium, ultra. What is it?
Yeah, they've called it the short trail, which it's not a short trail at all. Like, it's really badly named. It's what, best part of 50k, just short of 50k, and it's got 3,600 meters in it, so it's by no means a park run, is it? It's a huge race. So it is the short ultra, and then there is a long ultra as well. There are more races now involved in the World Champs. So you've got the uphill, you've got the classic up and down, which is a 14k classic course, which was always the World Champs, but the uphill's been a relatively new addition the last few years. You've got the under 20s race, which is probably similar.
A great addition.
Yeah, it's a really good addition.
So far apart from what I would be good at. I love watching the top ones do it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back to that in a second because we can talk about the results. Then you've got the short ultra, then you've got the long ultra, which is the pinnacle. There are a few people who raced a UTMB race who are in the World Champs, but it is still missing, in my mind, like some big stars. Yeah. And it got me thinking as I was driving down, like, which would you rather win as an athlete, the World Championships, or World Championship race, should I say, because there are 5 of them out there, or the UTMB? Which would you rather win?
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Good question, isn't it?
The only problem with that question I've got is it's the UTMB, as in, do you mean like the 100 miler?
Yeah.
It's just that's not an option, is it?
Yeah, well, actually, I mean...
How many people can win UTMB and win the long one? It's not that far apart these days, is it?
I mean, Jim Wormsley has done it in different years. So he won in Argentina a few years ago, the long.
So you've got to have a bit of range, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or you've got to have a bit of speed, which is why UTMB, I guess, times are starting to get faster and faster. But yeah, I would personally.
The prize money is about the same for both, I should add as well. It's 5,000 if you win a World Championship race, and it's about that, I think, now. It might be slightly different for UTMB. It's not.
If you'd have asked me 5 years ago, I'd have probably said UTMB, but I think it's an age thing maybe. I'd rather call myself a world champion.
And you're running for your country as well.
Because I've never been near running for my country. I've never been near winning UTMB, but I could run UTMB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't go to a world champs.
I mean, you could run the races though. You could do the courses, couldn't you? I'm just wondering because obviously people like Tom Evans, for example, they've chosen to do UTMB over the World Champs because he could get in that team. There's no doubt, and so could Josh Wade, so could John Albon for that matter. And
it's interesting because you look at an American team and it's a much stronger team. They've targeted.
Yeah,
the lads in that and girls have targeted the world champs from what I can see.
Yeah, some have, but some haven't. And like Jim Walmsley, for example, has chosen to do OCC.
Yeah, but he did OCC,
Yeah,
didn't
he did, but he could have been at the world champs, couldn't he? He could have done that uphill. He could have done any of those races really with his range. But I mean, Tom's a good example. Like the amount of publicity and prestige he's going to get off the back of UTMB far outweighs the world champs. And I'm wondering, has he chosen it for that because he thinks that is a bigger race, and it's
a bigger race for sponsors.
Yeah, for sponsors.
Bottom line is, it's like the choice is taken off you because you'll have in those contracts will be bonuses and benefits of winning the UTMB versus winning a world champs.
Yeah, it's true. The prize money is about the same, like I said, but
the prize money is the same. But
afterwards, it's the aftermath, isn't it?
The prize money is irrelevant.
Yeah,
in those two options, because think of the contracts and stuff that a UTMB winner's getting versus a world champs winner.
Yeah,
and that's if you like. Bear in mind if we don't know who's going to win the long world champs, but say it's someone who's not competing in a UTMB or something.
There's a good chance it could be Puppy. He's recently won CCC in style. I mean, it might be too much for him to take on that straight after that because it's a really big race, isn't it? And it's 82 kilometres off the top of my head with a ridiculous amount of climbing. So it's by no means an easy feat. He's going to go in as one of the favourites, but it's very close to CCC, which he did target. But yeah, I just think it's a good question because like, there's benefits to both, isn't there? And I suppose it depends on your makeup and what you want to get out of it. But it got me thinking on the way down. I mean, if it was any other UTMB race, it wouldn't even be a question. But the UTMB, with it carrying such weight and it being, I suppose, if we're honest, it's the biggest trail race in the world, isn't it? It's the most famous. It's the one that you're going to get the most prestige from.
Yeah. But that might change though. Like in 20 years, UTMB might be dead.
Yeah,
it might be something else. The world champs, you'll always be a world champion. You'll always be representing your country. I know it's a bit old school maybe to say that kind of stuff, but for someone who's not been anywhere near that, I'd still rather the prestige of winning a world champs.
Yeah,
I think personally. And again, there's plenty of people. I'm generalising here, but there'll be so many people in the running world that has even done UTMB races, they won't even know about Canfranc and won't even know there's a world champs in trail running. That's the mad thing.
It's gone under the radar, hasn't it?
And they're a little bit guilty of letting it happen because it's just not, it's marketing really. It comes down to that. They need to market that event and race. I think this year, arguably, more people, I've heard about it more and people have talked about it, whether that's because of some of the bigger names from outside the UK are doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this year more than any other, it's probably had a little bit more attention. But even still, I mean, it's way below UTMB in terms of coverage. But
like if you go to the shorter ones, like some of the lads that are like in the uphill race, for example, our best uphill runners are there. Yeah. So our best 100k runners aren't there.
Yeah, so let's talk about that uphill because we're filming this now on the Friday and then this was yesterday on the Thursday. So when this goes out, obviously all the champs will be done and dusted, but we're literally we're in the moment of like the uphill just finishing. So it was won by Rémi Bonnet, who is arguably, he's the world champion now, so you can say he's the best in the world at climbing.
Got some engine, that lad, hasn't he?
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
His VO2 max because of the skiing and the biking and all that.
Because he's a world champion.
Massive fan of him.
It's like ski mountaineer, isn't it? He's unreal, like winter and summer, and he's been threatening to do something like this for a while. He's won some big races.
Wasn't even a runner, was he?
No,
he's was getting amazing results in a runner, but he was a ski.
He's one of the most, like, it sounds cheesy this, but he's beautiful to watch. And when you watch him running uphill, it is like incredible.
And he's remarkably taller than you think at first as well. He
just glides, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it looks definitely effortless. Like it.
If you want to see a good mountain runner, especially like uphill and stuff, just watch Rémi Bonnet.
The technique is just like unbelievable to watch, and I'm glad he's won it because. Like he's been threatening to win something at that level for a while, and he does deserve it because he looked at the results yesterday and he won by, and it was a 6.5 kilometre course, and you've effectively got let's just say 1,000 metres of climb pretty much, and it's pure uphill, and he's won it by 1 minute and 14 seconds, which is a massive distance in that. And he's beaten some big names, some big Africans. Jacob Adkin was the biggest result for us, GB fifth, and Christian Allen was fourth for USA. But that performance by Rémi, and I looked at the stats actually in a bit of detail, and his GAP, his grade adjusted pace on that course as an average was 2:45 kilometres pace, which is ridiculous.
I need to be running downhill.
Unbelievable, and it's unbelievable. I think he completed it in 37 minutes, and if he'd have done a traditional VK route, that time is what he could run on that would be off the scale good.
And
but
to give you an idea, you can't give you an idea. You have to go on Instagram or whatever and have a look at some of the, like because even like I saw like Zach Hanna and stuff, like when they have to start hiking and stuff, you can tell. Yeah, you can just tell the steepness of it and how high they are. It's such a mad race. I think.
It's a real niche sport. We've talked about VKs, haven't we? And just how nuts that. I'm actually going out to do one next week in Sierre-Zinal, and it's just pain from the start to the finish. It's a
sub 40 minutes.
Well, actually, about 40 minutes is 30, I think 39 is my best time on a VK, but it's usually around 40, 41. It'll be a bit slower this time, I think, but it won't be far off that, to be fair. But for me, I'm not a natural climber, but it is just pure pain for...
Quick mention on Rémi there, like, because I follow him he's one of the ones that I've always followed, but he's been injured for a big chunk of the year.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Riding his bike a lot. So it just shows, obviously, he's got that massive engine VO2 max from his years skiing and stuff, but he's obviously put big chunks on the bike and it's paid off, hasn't it? So yeah, I know we speak about injuries a lot and stuff like that. Sometimes if you cannot run, like look at him. I know it's 6.5 kilometers, but he's essentially spent the summer cycling and then won the uphill champs.
And quite a few years ago, Mary Wilkinson, who's one of the biggest names or has been historically in the Great Britain team, she has always been a cyclist as well as a runner. She'd be good at anything she did, to be honest. But she got qualified for the GB team. She finished 4th in the World Champs quite a number of years ago, but her only training up for that race was on the bike. She was forced to, she was injured, but she knew she could get, she would be all right to race in the end. She was sort of carrying an injury. So she did all the training on a bike and she finished 4th. So it just shows that, that it has a massive impact, doesn't it? And it's good to cross-train. We spoke to George
too, didn't we? He's doing massive, mainly on the bike. 2 run sessions a week he was doing and still performing well. So yeah,
the cross-training definitely comes in, doesn't it? Yeah. So yeah, the standard of the world champs is, we're talking about big names not being there, but there's still a standard there, isn't there? I'd just love to have seen people like Ellisine there doing, the vertical, because he's had a few good battles in the Golden Trail series with Rémi. It'd have been nice to measure those two. And obviously Killian's in America doing his challenge at the moment. Jim, who we know also can do a VK really, really well. It'd be good to see. And Joe Stewart, who's in New Zealand at the moment, he was the European champion, not this year, last year. He's arguably one of our best ever climbers, but Jacob Adkin, fair play, take a bow, like 5th place in that field, unreal. And his sister Scout.
How did the women get on?
Yeah, Scout was 15th, I think, in the end. She was a 2nd GB. And yeah, they did all right. I think both teams were 7th overall, which is okay. There were some good standout performances. I think,
considering
consistent.
Considering in the UK, we haven't got that much opportunity for VKs and stuff.
Yeah.
We do perform well, I think, don't we, usually?
I think so. I think we're competitive, you're right, because we're limited as to what we can do. You've got to rely on people going out and racing in Europe and acclimatising and being able to train elsewhere other than in our country. So I think we do really well. And I think the results were consistent. And the time gaps in that race are like so minimal anyway, aren't they? Like, let's be honest, it's, a few seconds is going to cost you a few places. So no, it's been a good start to the World Champs. I've enjoyed watching it. And then today it's the short, it's going to call it the short trail, the short ultra. So we've got a few favourites in that, like Chris Jones. He also raced at OCC. He was 5th in the end. He was 2nd at one point. So he had a good battle with Jim and a few of the other big guns at the front of that race. So he's going to go in as one of the favourites. Tom Roach, who I've raced with before, unreal talent. Ben Rotheray, Grant Cunliffe is running. Naomi Lang is probably the great hope that we've got for this race in the women's. It's a very small women's team because I don't think they took full teams because people either didn't make the qualifying, or one of the other issues this year is the self-funding aspect of the World Champs. All the athletes that are going have had to pay for themselves to go, aren't they, Gary? So
it's yeah, I know we mentioned it in the WhatsApp group, but it's kind of, I'm not don't mix in that circle, to be honest, and especially not as much these days. But the self-funding side of it is just not. It's not great, is it?
No.
I don't understand it. And I haven't looked into it enough, but I did. That was a few months ago where I realised it is all self-funding stuff, and it's like, it just it just limits, and it's I don't know why I don't know why as an organisation we can't sort that out.
No, I don't either. It's really disappointing.
It's not always been the case, is it?
No, it hasn't always been the case. There's been funding. There's not always been a lot of funding, but it's difficult now, isn't it, to get funding for every sport. But that said, it's running for your country. It's once a year. It is disappointing because you've worked so hard to get to that level as well.
But even if I don't know how it works, but can you not bring in an external sponsor or something?
Well, there's this Navano now, isn't there? Navano, the company that is sponsoring the GB team in general. So they've got their logo on the kit. I don't know what their investment is in it, but it's the Great Britain team in general. They need to put a bit more in, maybe, don't they? Yeah. So I can't comment because
maybe RUNcensored can sponsor the next
year. Maybe,
yeah.
We'll chuck a tenner in. Start a crowdfunding page.
We've just bought 2 highlight reels. I'll show you the YouTube advertising revenue off that if you want. It might be able to split 2 coffees between us.
Well, RUNcensored are sponsoring it, and then in the long trail we have Gary House. VK, we have Ben Mounsey.
Brilliant.
Like when the owners turn up to a footy match.
Is it like they take over Wrexham?
Yeah.
I'll do the broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely pick a team. Don't worry about that.
But yeah, there's plenty more action for World Champs. I'd say like tune in and watch it, but by the time this goes out, it'll be over and we can talk about the results maybe on another episode.
Obviously, I know we talk about big events in terms of UTMB and stuff, but I know this is in hindsight because it will have already been. But I would encourage everyone to look up like World Champs, European Champs for the races that you enjoy as well, because there's Ben knows more than anyone. There's amazing athletes putting a lot of time and effort. We saw them out in Chamonix, a lot of them training for this World Champs, and then the hope is that it just doesn't go under the radar as much in future, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
What's the TV coverage of it like?
It's not really. They'll do live feeds, but there's no
that VK sounds like it could be quite. How quick are they doing that in?
I think it is difficult to cover in general, like in terms of like the camera angles. UTMB, the way they cover their events is off the scale good. They've got people at different stages running around.
Me when
it's amazing. I think that's the best that you've ever seen.
Hundreds of thousands of pounds to do that, but you could cover if someone wanted to.
The Snowdon race is a great example of how they do it well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
So there's no excuse. I think it probably comes down to funding, doesn't it? Really, at the end of the day, there's no money in the sport, is there? And it's not an Olympic sport either. Maybe that'll change in a few years' time. So it's not as mainstream as a lot of the other sports. It's certainly a niche,
but as a race,
discipline in running.
I'm geeky enough to sit there and watch a 10K at a Diamond League or at the Olympics, not anywhere, and it's just a load of laps around the track. Yeah. But I understand not everyone else is. They might just watch the last couple of laps. Whereas a VK, if you set that up right,
it'd be amazing.
Watching that for 45 minutes, well, not even that.
There's nothing more exciting, is there?
It's exciting from the word go all the way through, because like you say, every second counts, and it's as it gets steeper, and it's just and you see in a max effort, like when you see the cross country skiing in the Olympics and stuff, and obviously you wait for ages and you see them all just collapse at the end. It's that, but in 40 minutes. There's no.
That's what I mean. It sounds like that the VK could be a real good television thing.
Definitely.
It's not. Yeah, it's not sponsored.
Do they go off at intervals?
Sometimes it depends on the nature of the VK. So yesterday it was a mass start, but I've done VKs before where it's intervals. So Trans Gran Canaria, for
typically,
example.
at those races it will be. So you're almost time trialing it.
Because it looked quite, I remember seeing some of the trails in Chamonix and they look quite narrow. So I thought if you did a mass start, that would be a bit unfair.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they do it. And also with the time trial, you don't actually know who's won. You've got an idea who's won, but you could essentially set off last and still win it.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't know until the very end.
Mass starts are quite good because then you've got to think, because there will be a bottleneck at some point, because they'll start it and there'll be whether it's a couple of seconds or minutes, where they can sort themselves out. But there will be a bottleneck, so there's a fight to that and stuff. And it's
the one in Trans-Gran Canaria is really good to watch. It starts in a little village, it finishes 3.5 miles above in the middle of nowhere. But that's a time trial, and it's great because you're setting off in these intervals. Yeah, it's always really good pictures.
Because the backdrop's so dramatic.
It's exciting to watch when the people set off like that as well, like I said, because if you're at the start and everyone goes in a mass start, it's done, isn't it? And that's it. You have to,
but I mean, just like on the Tour de France, every now and again, don't they? They have an individual time trial, and they're quite good fun to watch because you actually get a bit of TV time on each rider rather than seeing a whole group of people.
Exactly. And when you are actually in it and you're racing it, it's a different mindset. Some people can't time trial either, because you're running in a different way. You're not racing against the people that you're around. You've no idea where you are at any point. You have an idea of how well you're going, but people might pass you, you might pass people, and you race it in a different way. And I think it's nice to pick people off, and also if you get picked off, then it's how you deal with that kind of like negative mindset as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that in terms of mainstream sport, TV sport, the VK would be just incredible, wouldn't it? To watch, definitely.
There you go.
Gone off on a bit of a tangent there, haven't we? But so I think we'll wrap that one up for today because we've got plenty to talk about for the next episode, leading on from Tour de Géants. But it's good to be back. Thanks everybody for listening, for staying with us through the best ofs. We are back now, regularly filming. So
the best of every week, mate.
Exactly. That's just what we bring in it. But yeah, big thanks to Chris for keeping that one going while me and Gary were away. And without further ado, we'll see you next Tuesday.